Hello, my name is Roy Gillis, CEO of Lighthouse Streaming, and you're watching Centex Sports Network.
You got 8 seconds to prove you're worth the price of admission. And you got Baylor Scott & White Health along for the ride. So square up. You got this.
RJ's Bargain Center is your home team for appliances at unbeatable prices. From refrigerators to washers, dryers to stoves, you'll find brand new appliances with huge discounts. And just like your favorite local teams, RJ's is proud to support our community and local sports. Score your savings today at RJ's Bargain Center, 711 Lynn Street, Waco. Call 254-224-6178. RJ's Bargain Center, where big savings are always a home run.
I've looked back at MCC with all these kids coming out here, these men and women starting their lives out here, starting their dreams and their visions of what they want to do for their family. It's the foundation for our community.
The plan is to go win.
Yes, sir.
Our girls set a goal that they wanted to win a national championship. They wanted to win a conference championship. That's been on the table from day one. And now we put ourselves in the position to do that.
Pitch is hit in the air and deep to left field. Going back is Rayvon Morgan at the wall. He leaps and he makes the catch for the third out.
On the line, too much to give in. If you think it's over, then let's start it again. The planets alive, the stars burn bright, the sun goes down, we keep going all night. Don't back down, the moment is now. Don't miss out, we're never turning around.
To the gap. That's to the field. Center going back, can't get to it. It'll go all the way to the wall. One run is scored. Now the third coming home to score is Aiden Cooney.
Catch me if you can. We're renegades.
It's this one here in right field. It is treetop call and over the wall.
We're renegades. We're renegades. We're renegades. Listen up, listen up.
Hits the first pitch down the right field side. That's going to be it. Touching third and coming home is the winning run, Carson Croca. Give a RBI double to Blake Hansen. The Lions walk it off and win by a score of 10-9.
We're renegades.
Hello, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back into Centex Primetime. I am your host, Jalen Gillis, getting ready to bring you through the primetime topics in sports, not just here in the Central Texas area, but from all around the nation. We want to thank everybody. It's Friday Eve. We made it to another Thursday. That means Thursday night football tonight, high school football tomorrow, college football Saturday, Sunday and Monday. We got NFL, so we made it once again. We've got another football weekend coming up here on Centex Primetime. We want to thank everybody for watching with us, whether you're watching on YouTube, Centex Sports Network / Centex Sports TV. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, like and share this stream as you let everybody know we're getting ready to talk some high school football, some college football, and some NFL. Of course, we'll do some quick takes and talk about some things going on around the world of sports. Obviously, the Shedeur Sanders news, if you want to call it that. Once again, anything he says somehow makes some type of news. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about some of the high school games coming up tomorrow night. A few different teams have byes around this local area, but still some really good games tomorrow. We'll talk a little bit about those, and I'll give you guys some stats on my players of the week from last football week as we head into this weekend in football. Got to talk some college football as well. Big-time matchups last weekend and this weekend. We'll talk Big 12 football here on the show today, and we'll also cover some of the games going on around the nation for Saturday night. And, of course, Sunday, NFL. We'll give you guys some predictions of what we think about these games and these matchups for this coming up week. So a lot of football talk here on Centex Primetime. We're going to get right to it. Folks, thanks everybody for watching. Also, make sure you guys go to our website, CentexSportsNetwork.com. Check it out. free subscription. Just need your name and your email to get signed up to be able to catch all of our content, including MCC Volleyball, which is again tomorrow. MCC got a 3-0 sweep yesterday over Southwestern Christian College. They're back in action this weekend on Saturday, 1 o'clock right here on Centex Sports Network. So make sure you guys gearing up and getting ready for that. Well, we're going to jump right into it, folks. Joining me here over the phone today, we've got a familiar voice and face to the show here, PJ Gaither calling in with us here today. P, what's going on?
Oh, man, just chilling. Gonna go to work a little later, man, but really want to just go ahead and hop on, man. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to catch up on, definitely during this football season regarding high school, college, and the NFL.
Yeah, man, it is a lot to talk about, so we're going to get right into it here today. First, I'm going to give you guys some of the good matchups we have tomorrow on the slate for Friday Night Football. As I said, some teams have a bye this weekend, especially a lot of the teams in District 12 will be on a bye this week, but still really good football games going on tomorrow. So we're going to jump right into it. 7 o'clock tomorrow in Killeen, Texas. I guess they don't play at Leo Buckley anymore. This says at Ciro Stadium. All the games used to be at Leo Buckley. That's what I'm used to. I know PJ is too. But Midway and Killeen Shoemaker tomorrow. This is going to be a big-time battle with a lot of district implications on this game. Midway coming in 4-1, dropped their first game of the season last week against another one of their district opponents. That's going to be big for them going in the district, and the reigning district champs in Harker Heights. Now they take on Killeen Shoemaker. They're getting the Killeen teams out the way early. Those are going to be some of their biggest battles. Both the Killeen schools, obviously Temple in there as well, that they'll be playing, I believe, next week. But they got Shoemaker this week. Shoemaker's coming in 5-0. They've got the resume. They were playing good football. We always know Shoemaker's a good program. But now coming in this district with Midway and with Harker Heights being at the top of it, and Temple, the Temple Wildcats, can't forget about those guys who've also been having a phenomenal season. This is going to be a big-time matchup tomorrow. Midway's got one of the most explosive offenses in this Central Texas area. Andrew Air McNair is what I've been calling him. He's been putting up great stats all season long. The amazing running back duo, Lathan Wissington and then Jaden Fields-Vaughn, and also a really good complement of receivers as well with Midway. I like Midway in this game tomorrow. Yeah, they lost one to Harker Heights. That was a close battle all the way to the end, but they want to be able to come back and rebound and get a win against another really good, formidable Killeen school that's going to mean a lot for district implications as we get further down the line. PJ, what do you think about this Shoemaker and Midway matchup tomorrow at 7 o'clock?
First thing I want to say, man, I'm really sold on this Midway team. They're a really good team. Definitely their offense. Their offense is awesome.
Sure.
To be honest, man, not to bring up old news, but I really feel like they coach sold the game to me last week against Harker Heights.
Okay.
I really don't like the defense that they play anyway. First off, they run, I believe they run the 4-3. But if you're gonna run that 4-3, you got 3 down linemen. You better have some hogs on that D line.
You got to.
You gotta have some hogs on that D line to be able to, get some pressure. And they not, really just a team that always gets a lot of pressure on the QB anyway. So I feel like they can do a lot better. I'm not saying they do better in the 3-4, but in anything, better than other than the 4-3. And then just some of the coverages that they were running to me against Harker Heights whenever you was already getting killed in certain coverages, it didn't make no sense to be in the same coverage that you was kind of getting killed at during the game, all the way down to, the last few minutes of the game once they, got the go-ahead score in order to win the game. But I feel like they're still a really good team, and I've seen moments in this season where their defense, when they had to lock in, just like the week before last, whenever they locked in against Mansfield and was able to come back and win that game.
Yeah. So
going into this game against Shoemaker, Shoemaker is a very good team, and they do got the resume. They play some really good teams. I would say some, not state contention, anything like type teams, but they play some teams that most definitely will be going into the playoffs in their region or, out of their district. So they're a really good team. Like, Shoemaker's always been good, just like Harker Heights. But I feel like Midway, man, like you said, this offense, definitely with Jacoby, our nephew, putting putting up his numbers and being able to take a 5-yard slant and turn it into a 65-yard touchdown. And with the, both of the running backs, Latham Wigginton and the other running back, just really beating up on their quarterback. He gonna lay the ball there. And number 16, I forgot the kid name. He's not even that big, man, but he be getting separation. He gets,
the other
he gets a lot of
receiver,
those.
Tyler Seath.
Yes.
Yeah. He's nice.
He's a dog.
Yeah, he's nice.
He's a dog. So their whole offense, man, is just really good and explosive, and they can score at any point. So I got Midway possibly coming out, but it's gonna be a close game just like last week. So hopefully we see a little bit of coaching, better coaching in a close game, against a district rival. But besides that, man, I would say, the coaching has been awesome this season. I'm really just happy to see us looking like we once did, just a little bit. This team is majority like juniors. So a lot of these guys, they coming back. They got one more year. So I feel like even next year is going to be even better than what so far this year is.
Yeah, a lot of their impact players are young, man. It's Coach Joe Gillespie's second year in the program. He's done a phenomenal job, as you said, just bringing us back to Midway football, how we knew it, how we saw it when we were back in high school, man. So I'm excited for this team. This district is a lot of fun to watch. We watched Midway and Harker Heights have a battle last week, but also Shoemaker and Temple had a battle last week. I think Shoemaker won 31-28, and Temple was undefeated as well. So their only loss on the season is to Shoemaker. Midway's only loss on the season is to Harker Heights. This is going to be a fun time matchup. That is at 7 o'clock tomorrow in Killeen. I guess they don't. Who plays at Leo Buckley still? I thought everybody still played at Leo Buckley, but I guess some of these teams don't got them another stadium to go play at. It used to be all 10 teams playing in one stadium. But they're playing at Cyril's Stadium is what it looks like. They'll be playing that tomorrow. So that's going to be a fun matchup. 4-1 Midway taking on Killeen Shoemaker. Another really fun matchup for tomorrow, or actually for tonight. 5-0 Lampasas taking on Lorena. Lorena is a fun team that has had one of the best offenses in the Central Texas area. Their quarterback is a leading passer in yardage. Their running back is top 3 in Brody DeLeon. Their receiver, Carson Miller, is top 5 in receiving yards. So this is a dynamic offense. I've been calling them the triplets all year long. Well, they're taking on a really tough Lampasas team that's got a lot of dogs on it, and that is 5-0 so far this season. Lampasas was kind of on the trend of, they haven't played a lot of great teams until the last couple of weeks. They beat Wimberley, who we know has been in the Final Four when it comes to football in 4A Division II for the last 3-4 years. Beat them, then backdoor, they beat University 35-28 last week. Lorena kind of punching up in weight class this week as they're taking on a 4A Division I team. But this is going to be a high-powered shootout is what I feel like. Lorena definitely has the guns to stick with these guys on offense. And on the other side of the ball, Lampasas has been putting up numbers week in and week out. So I'm excited about that matchup. Last one I want to say something about is Chilton versus Mart is tomorrow. Mart has kind of had a down year. PJ, this is not exactly what we're used to seeing out of the Mart Panthers. But with them being 1-3, they're playing at home against the best small town team, I guess you could say, out of that trio of cities that all kind of surround each other with Mart and Marlin and Rosebud Lot and Chilton as well. But they're taking on the Chilton Pirates, who are 4-0. They've got a dynamic playmaker in Marneco Thomas at their quarterback spot that does a great job. He's their leading rusher, their leading passer. He's been playing phenomenal ball all year long. PJ, what do you think about Chilton and Mart matching up? That's always a big-time rivalry matchup when those two teams can match up with each other.
This is a big game. And like you were saying, it's a really down year right now for this Mart team. We're not really used to them being down like this, but they still a dangerous team. Definitely, if you go into this game and you're Chilton, knowing that this is a rival, and like you said, those little small little areas, man, that's like right out on the outskirts of Waco, Chilton, Mart, Marlin, like I said, Rosebud. I even say going all the way down towards like even Teague and Fairfield.
Oh yeah. Mahia, Teague, Fairfield, all those little small towns right next to each other.
Yeah, Chilton right now, like you said, they're the best small town team right now, and they, like you said, they're a really good team. I actually kind of watched some of their highlights a few days ago, and they can run that ball.
Definitely.
I said that they can do everything pretty much offensively to me, and the defense is pretty strong. You know, I'm looking forward to this game. I'm hoping that it's a close game. I just hope that we get a really, really motivated Mart team, you know, that comes into this game and wanna be good, man, and try to flip your season real quick. I mean, there's still a lot of time. You know, it's a 10-game season, so they still got a lot of time to flip the script on their season. But you're just hoping that they go into this game and we're motivated in doing that. And as far as with Chilton, I mean, just don't go sleeping into this game. You know, it's pretty much a cross town, or right next door to each other type matchup. So everybody gonna be at the game. All the schools gonna be closed. Everybody's just gonna be at the game Friday night, or that's tonight, right?
No, that's tomorrow night. I believe they play.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's tomorrow. Yeah. So I mean, go ahead and lock in if you Chilton and get to 5-0, and that's gonna really have them having a lot of momentum going into district play, having to play Hubbard, and even once they play teams like Bremond, you know what I'm saying? That's all,
exactly.
That's all. If I'm not mistaken, I think Bremond is probably number one in the district, because Chilton is like number 2.
They're both undefeated. They play on the 24th. I was gonna bring that game up too. Yeah, they play on the. They're both undefeated. Both got high-powered offenses, like you said. The whole towns are gonna be shut down for both places, Mart and Chilton, this weekend. We know people that went to Mart and Chilton High School. Like those are just two high schools that aren't too far from each other. Traditional powerhouse in Mart. Their coach, retired after years and years and years of winning. So it's a transition kind of year for them, but still going to be competitive. They still know what it means when it's Mart versus Chilton, and this is district. So even though that they're 1-3, Mart is 1-3 on the season. 2 of those losses weren't in district, so that don't even really matter. District is where it all matters. Now, they lost to Bremond last week. That was their first district loss, and Mart is coming in saying, hey, we can get Chilton. It doesn't really matter what else happens. They're going to take 4 teams out of the district. So Mart is playing for a lot in this game. Chilton is a team that I think really has a chance to go to state. I think Chilton team is that good. I think Marneco Thomas Jr. is that good at the quarterback spot. He's coming off a game where he had 177 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. This kid is dynamic week in and week out. And I can't wait for that matchup on the 24th of October with Bremond and Chilton, because I really do think the winner of that game is going to have a chance to go to state. Bremond is ranked number 2, I believe, in 2A Division II. So number 2 in the state. Chilton should be climbing and creeping up that list as well. So I'm excited to watch that game this weekend, Mart versus Chilton. That should be a big-time game. That's tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Let's look at a couple of these players of the week from last week as we get ready for this week of Friday Night Lights. First on the list for my players of the week, talked about it early in the week, and we just got done talking about this Bremond team. But Tank Scott, the running back for Bremond, 27 carries, 342 yards, 4 touchdowns in the game in their win last week for Bremond versus Mart. Also, he had 8 tackles on defense. That means this dude is doing a little bit of everything. Marneco Thomas, who I just talked about, the quarterback for Chilton, 177 yards, 2 touchdowns rushing. Also has 7 tackles and 3 pass breakups on defense. So this dude ain't coming off the field. He's probably the kicker and the punter too. I hadn't even checked or watched none of their special team stuff to see if he's the punter or something like that as well. Those are 2 guys I had on the list for my players of the week. Got to throw the Vega boys in there. Courtney Parr, the quarterback, 373 yards and 4 touchdowns last week. Jabari Thornton, also their receiver, Oklahoma State commit, 14 catches for 219 yards, 2 touchdowns. This La Vega team is looking dangerous as they're taking a bye this week, but they're getting ready for what is, what I say, the premier district in this Central Texas area, and that's District 12 and 4A Division II. They're getting ready for that, and they've got all monsters in there. The Robinson boys, can't leave them out. Bryce McCurdy, 234 yards, throwing 3 touchdowns, also rushed for 20 yards. The running back, Evan Marino, leading rusher in Central Texas, 14 rushes, 151 yards, 4 touchdowns. Dylan Medlock, the receiver, to complete their version of the triplets. 5 catches, 116 yards, 3 touchdowns in their game last weekend. Those are some of my guys that I have for the top performers. And the last one I had was London Smith. He had 9 catches, 197 yards, and 3 touchdowns last week in their loss versus Lampasas, and what ended up being a shootout We'll see if University will be able to bounce back. Folks, those are some of the my players of the week from last week's games. This week, already told you we got some really fun games. So we'll give out my players of the week for next week on the show here on Centex Primetime next week. Make sure you guys looking out for Friday Night Flex tomorrow, 6 to 10 p.m. We'll be covering all things high school football in the Central Texas area. Make sure you guys get ready to tune into that. Starting tomorrow at 6 o'clock, going all the way to 10 o'clock. Wayne Walker, Rocky Miller, they'll be on here with me tomorrow as we cover some more high school football. Well, folks, we got to jump into some college football. A big weekend this weekend in college football, so we want to be able to talk about that. First, I got to start with the Big 12 and just kind of the state of the Big 12. We'd like to do this week in and week out where we talk about the Big 12. It's one of the main conference that we cover here on Centex Primetime. And we're starting to figure out a lot more about these teams over the last few weeks now. The conference has started. I think right now the top dogs, in my opinion, we'll see what PJ thinks. The top dogs I have right now in the Big 12, Iowa State, who's undefeated at 5-0, Texas Tech, who just put a beat down on Utah a couple of weeks ago. They got a big-time matchup this weekend we'll talk about. And then the third one I'll put in there is Arizona State, who lost early to Mississippi State in the season, and I was kind of out on them. I was like, if you lose to Mississippi State, we got some issues. But these last couple of weeks, man, Arizona State, they've been doing it. They win a close one against Baylor. They win a close one against TCU. Those are the two of the most high-powered offenses in the Big 12. So Arizona State I have to put in there as well. They're 2-0 in conference play. Iowa State, they're 5-0. I think their resume is getting better and better. They got a big game this coming up weekend. And then Texas Tech to round that off. That's my top three teams right now in the Big 12. PJ, what do you think about those three teams? And then who are three teams that you like right now in the Big 12?
I mean, that would have been mine. Yeah. I mean, some people might throw BYU in there into the third spot, man. Or they got a good argument, even if you want to say they could be second. I mean, because them Iowa State and Texas Tech are all undefeated, so it's really however you want to flip it. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm with you. I feel like Iowa State is number one, and they kind of still rolling under the radar. I don't even think some people even realize that they're undefeated.
Yeah,
you're not somebody that really follow Big 12 football. You won't even realize that they're undefeated right now. Them or BYU. So. They like I said, they're rolling under the radar, but to me, they're the best overall team in the Big 12 right now, as far as just. And Texas Tech is a very, very close second. It's almost like 1A. It's really 1A, 1B when it comes to those two. I really think those two could end up playing each other in the Big 12 championship game easily. They could easily run the table.
For sure.
In both. Going to that, I don't even think, do they even play during the season?
Iowa State and Tech, no, they don't. They don't play through the season.
Yeah. They could easily roll in undefeated.
For sure.
Easily. You know what I'm saying? Coming out the Big 12 with those two, because it's close, man. Texas Tech, that money is really showing.
It's working right now.
Everybody talking about Texas, they talk about the long ones and say we got oil money, but them real oil money boys going out to West Texas and Lubbock. So Texas does have oil money, but Texas has other money outside of just oil money. People who got money in oil that is putting money into the school. Texas is more city-ish. Is more, they got outside resources more than just oil.
Yeah.
Texas Tech really have oil money. They in Lubbock, and that's nothing but that out there. So it's showing up, man, because they defense. I never seen a Texas Tech team play defense.
This is easily their best defense. I'll say.
I've never.
Yeah, since I've been watching Tech, at least somebody might tell me. I'll ask Wayne when he come on tomorrow. Is maybe some team in the '80s or maybe in the '90s had a better, but not that I can remember.
Yeah, we weren't living.
No.
I tell you that. Now since we've been living, Tech does not. They're gonna score 56 points. But no, they're going to score 63 points, but they're going to allow like 50, 59,
for
56
real.
Points. That's real score. That's a real score. So, I'm excited about Tech. I'm excited about Iowa State. And like I said, third can easily be BYU or Arizona State. Arizona State losing against Mississippi State isn't looking that bad no more.
Yeah,
because
Mississippi State pretty good.
really good team. Some say they should have won that game against who was that, Tennessee?
Yeah, Tennessee that they played this weekend.
Yeah, so they played them very close. And Tennessee is they a top 5, maybe even top 3 team in the SEC for sure this season with their offense and their defense for sure. But yeah, Mississippi State, I feel like they're gonna play everybody close. I'm not sure how their record will be, but I will say that they will be upsetting somebody else. They're gonna be like the Vanderbilt. Maybe they could be the Vanderbilt of last year, the way that they play.
Yeah.
They a lot of improvement. So I mean, we gotta play them, and we gotta play them in Mississippi State. We gotta go out there. So we're gonna have to really lock in. Longhorns. We're gonna have to lock in when we go out there and play against them. So I say Arizona State. Now, if you want to have them at 3, you can, because they are the reigning champs, so they deserve to be up there. But if somebody want to flip it towards BYU as well, they could. I'm just not sure. I'm not sold on BYU because they haven't really played anyone.
Yeah. I'm not sold on BYU's offense. That's probably just about it for me. I know they got a good defense, and on offense they got L.J. Martin, and they got the receiver Chase out there as well. But just not completely sold on the offense. But they're a really good team. But I'm agreeing with you. Tech, their defense, man, their defense is what's winning them games. Even when their offense couldn't score last week until Will Hammond came in, who was just a revelation for them against when they played Utah. But their defense is what kept them in the game the whole time. And then when the offense finally caught up, it was nothing Utah could do. And I like Utah. I don't think Utah is a bad team, even with them losing to Tech. I think Utah is still one of the better teams within the Big 12. But I agree, those are some of my top teams. We want to look at a couple of the matchups for them. First, we got to start with the hometown team, the Baylor Bears. They take on the Kansas State team tomorrow. That's struggling. They're 2-3. They're 1-1 in the Big 12. But they did finally get a win last week, so they do have some type of confidence. We know they still got guys. They still got Avery Johnson. They still got some other guys. They still got Dylan Edwards out there in that offense. They've struggled. Baylor offense has not struggled at all this year. Even with them losing twice, the offense hasn't been the reason why they lost. The defense has let them down multiple times, including in that Arizona State game. We know about the first game of the season against Jackson Arnold. I don't even want to talk about that. But this Baylor team with this high-powered offense, Sawyer Robinson is still leading the entire nation in passing. And I'm going to start posting my clips from the summertime when I kept trying to tell everybody that Sawyer Robinson was going to be the best quarterback in the Big 12 and possibly one of the best in the country. But with this high-powered offense, they're playing Kansas State at home. We know this team's still going to be physical, never an easy game. What do you think about Baylor and Kansas State this weekend?
Just kind of back out what you were saying. I'm sold. I'm very sold on Baylor's offense being one of the best offenses in the country. We both kind of been saying that. Man, I'm loving the running back duo with Bryson Rowland and the backup. They both had a really good game last week. Sawyer Robertson is the best quarterback, like we were saying, in the entire Big 12 and maybe in the country. Yep. If you really want to be with the numbers that he's putting up, you can argue that he could also be in the Heisman, finalist as far as if he keeps up.
Yeah, he leading the nation in yards.
Yeah,
with a 17-3 touchdown to interception ratio. Like,
that's insane. Easily being. But I'm also sold on the Baylor defense is very much so similar to the Dallas Cowboys defense. Both just being terrible. I don't know what's going on with Baylor. I really don't, bro. I don't know what's going on with them. No pass rush.
Man,
Zero pass rush.
Anything. No tackling, no pass rush, no DBs.
The DBs all look confused whenever running just zone coverage. They don't know where to be at in the zone.
Yeah.
If you put them, they really don't know where to be at. None of the safeties know their jobs in zone coverage. And they just, I don't know, man, they need to lock in. It's really getting too late into the season to lock in, but just lock in just a little bit because they're going to be the downfall as far as how the season can go for Baylor. Baylor is still, like you said, we're still in contention for the Big 12. But, man, this defense is just awful, bro. It's awful. It's very awful. You don't want every game to have to be a shootout because that is not fun when every game is a shootout because you start feeling like, man, we the ones, offensively, you start feeling like we're the ones that's really carrying the weight for the team. But the other side of the ball, they're not really carrying any weight. We got to try to win every game by having the ball last. And you don't want to have to play into that as the season continues. But as far as with this game against Kansas State, man, Avery Johnson had a ton of hype coming into this season, and he has not any of it so far this season. You're just hoping that they can kind of flip their season if you're a fan of Kansas State, if you are, and in many ways their defense too is just really bad. Anybody can score on them, but also your offense really haven't found any type of, rhythm going into the, into man, it started looking kind of rough, down the road. If you're looking into the future, it's starting to look a lot rough now. So, with them, man, I'm just hoping that they can flip the script. Not with us. They had to find somebody else.
Yeah.
Not with Baylor, but yeah, man, because I really like Avery Johnson. I do like a few guys that's on their team on the offensive side for sure. So I'm hoping that they continue to, find some rhythm at some point. But Baylor, man, we just got to lock in. Like I said, defensively, we really need to lock in. I don't think we do good with dual threat quarterbacks, so I'm hoping that Avery Johnson doesn't figure it out. But I think with what we got on offense, it'll be enough to win this game. I'm looking toward, it might be like a 28, 24, 32, that type of game.
Yeah, they got to be able to hold Kansas State's offense down. We know they're going to score on the defense. I don't have no problem with that. They're going to score on the defense, but our defense has to do their job, contain Avery Johnson, contain Dylan Edwards, contain their weapons or their lack thereof of weapons, and you'll be able to come out with this. Sawyer Robinson been putting up Heisman-level stats. All we got to do is get some stops. Those dudes that we paid in the offseason, we got to start cashing in on that. I know Jackie Marshall has battled injuries, and he's a big part of that defensive line. Amari Winston's been doing what he can. He's got a couple of sacks. But these other guys we paid in the offseason, it's got to start kicking in. Matthew Fobbs-White, you got a bag in the offseason. Need some sacks, man. We got to be able to cash in, got to be able to do the things we brought you in here to do. We just talked about Tech. Their guys are cashing in. Their guys are doing what they were brought in to do and what they were paid to do. Baylor's transfer guys, they need that to happen for this defense. I expected the DB room to not be that great. I knew that's what Baylor's weakness was coming into the season. It's all the other spots. Everybody else got to do a little bit better. Baylor's a 6.5-point favorite. I like Baylor in this game, but I don't trust the defense. For that reason, I'll take them on the money line. I don't like them on the point system, even though 6.5 points is not a bad place to get them at. Another big game this weekend in Big 12, Texas Tech and Houston. Both teams coming in 4-0. Texas Tech, they look like the real deal. They look like the best team in the Big 12. That's why they're ranked ahead of Iowa State team that's 5-0. They're ranked ahead of a BYU team that's undefeated as well. Because everyone's seeing the same thing we're seeing, this Texas Tech team could be special if their offense catches up with what their defense has been doing. The way that their defensive line was able to, really get an advantage and manhandle the Utah offensive line, and Utah is one of the best offensive lines in the country. That's not a baby offensive line. They have the best offensive line in the Big 12, and Texas Tech was able to dominate the line of scrimmage. That is what makes me think, okay, this Texas Tech team could be different. They're playing a U of H team that's 4-0, but this U of H 4-0, sorry to my U of H fans, this is a fugazi 4-0. It's not a real 4-0. Yes, you beat Colorado. Colorado's struggling. They're 2-3. Can't keep holding that up. The rest of your wins, Oregon State. You barely beat an Oregon State team 27-24, and Oregon State is one of the worst teams in the entire country, no matter the conference, no matter if it's Division I, AA, whatever. Oregon State is bad. You dominated Rice, and you beat SFA. Those aren't the best wins in the world. This is a fugazi 4-0, in my opinion, for Houston, and it's going to get shown this weekend. And Vegas is thinking the same thing I'm thinking because of the point spread in this game. Tech is an 11.5-point favorite. So even though they're 4-0, both teams coming in 4-0, they think Tech is almost 2 touchdowns better than Houston. And I got to agree. I'm tempted to even take the points on this one. I think U of H gets blown out by Tech in this game. Can it be competitive? Maybe if Connor Wigman can get it going, but I've seen enough of Connor Wigman at A&M and at Houston. He's not the guy. Everybody that comes out of 5-star out of high school is not going to be the guy. Connor Wigman's not the guy. Tech is going to blow out U of H. PJ, what do you think about U of H and Tech this weekend?
Yeah, I'm with you, man, on that. Yeah, I feel like the U of H, their team, they're a good team, but they're not what some of the analysts have really been trying to build them up to be. They're trying to build them up to be one of the top teams in the Big 12 because of their record. But like you said, you go down their record, they ain't played nobody.
No.
And the team that they played, who should probably be somebody, you know what I mean? Just because they have had decent teams in the past is Oregon State, but they're the worst team, one of the worst teams in the FBS.
They're terrible.
They're terrible. So, you know, you can't really go off of that, and you can't go off of SFA and who's the other
Rice.
Rice. No, yeah, you can't go off of that. So, you know, I think they'll be exposed definitely against this Texas Tech team. Like I was saying, you know, just minutes ago, this Tech team is really, really good. That money has really shown. They have an explosive offense. Man, they got weapons on their offense too. Man, they got a really good receiver core. Their receiver core probably at the end of this season could be a top 10 receiving core, if not already.
Yeah, they got one of the best receiving cores in the nation for sure.
Yeah, they might be top 5. I might be actually sleep on them a little bit by saying top 10. They could easily be a top 5 because some of the receiving cores that we thought that was going to be explosive, like LSU's, nobody's really came out. That's a whole nother story, man. You know how you know my nerves back. But you know, I'm just giving them an example. Even this Clemson team, who those two teams I just said, LSU and Clemson, those were considered like top 2, maybe 1 or 2, whoever. You could switch it out, but those were like the number 1 and number 2 predicted best wide receiver cores coming into the season, and they haven't both done anything.
No.
So Texas Tech. I can say right now, yeah, they could be one of the best, like top 5. I'll push them up because some of the ones that we thought they haven't really been doing anything. So, man, then like I said, it's a Texas Tech defense that's actually like found their way, and they dominate, like you said, a really good Utah offense. That offensive line on Utah is good, and Utah is not no slouch.
No, not at all.
Utah in the Big 12 this year too. But they just ran up against a really talented Texas Tech defense, man. And with Texas Tech being able to still score 50-some points, but now they can stop you. I don't really see too many teams in the Big 12 that can compete with that, man, besides maybe two other teams. So, and U of H not one of those teams. They're actually going to be a bottom half, I think, in between team, really, in the Big 12 as some of the games start really laying on them. So I got Tech tomorrow.
Yeah, Tech. Like I said, I'll even almost take him at the 11.5 points, man. U of H, nobody believes in that. You beat up Rice and SFA, okay, whoop-de-doo. But y'all not finna whoop nobody like that. So I got Tech big in that one. In the Big 12, lots of good games this weekend. Another one, Colorado and TCU. This is a game that, you know, Colorado's been an up-and-down journey for me this season. I could start to see the talent last week versus BYU, who we both think BYU is a pretty decent team. Saw the talent. It's a game that I think Colorado actually should have won. They let the game slip away. Haven't been ecstatic about Caden Salter's decision-making in fourth quarters of games that he's played. Haven't been ecstatic about that. But still optimistic about this team. I think they're going to have a chance against this TCU team. Now, on the other side of that, TCU, one of my and it's crazy that I'm even saying this because I've always hated TCU, but one of my favorite teams to watch so far in the Big 12 has been TCU. Josh Hoover is a dynamic quarterback. Josh Hoover is one of the best quarterbacks in the Big 12. He's really got this offense humming. He's already thrown for 1,200 yards. I love the addition of Barnes, the running back out of UTSA from last year. McAllister's been doing a great job. I'm going to pick TCU in this game, but the point spread is a little outrageous for me. They have TCU favored by 13.5 points. Now, I understand Colorado has struggled. I don't see this TCU team being 2 touchdowns better than Colorado, especially after what I've seen out of Colorado last week versus BYU. I think Colorado's going to be competitive. I'll pick TCU in this game, but I'll take Colorado on the plus 13.5. I don't think they're going to lose by 2 touchdowns. Now, I could be wrong, but just based off what I seen last week against BYU, a game they should have won, based off what I seen against TCU, who really should be kind of should be undefeated. They let an Arizona State team come back on them and was able to win that game. So I like TCU in the game tomorrow, but I'll take Colorado on the plus 13.5. Who you got in versus TCU and Colorado?
I feel the same. I don't think Colorado will lose by 2 scores. I got them losing tomorrow. Right now, man, there's just something going on down there in Boulder. They got to figure it out. I don't really know too much, or really as to why certain things down there is not clicking. And there's certain things that's consistently not clicking. Like they consistently just don't have the guys on defense, and really trying to figure out why. Because I mean, you look at that coaching staff. That's like
it's got to be one of the best in the nation.
Yeah, so like you play defensive. Let's say you on the D line, you got Warren Sapp as your coach. You don't want that, or if you play, and your head coach is the greatest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I know he's working on them guys, and they got other guys on the team that's just Marshall Falk, like they got guys, bro. So I'm not knowing what's going on. That honestly, as good as that sound, all that I just said, that could also be a problem too, because not every former player is a good coach.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So it goes hand in hand, however you want to look at it. But I do got them losing tomorrow, but they still gonna be competitive. I don't really. TCU is a good team, but TCU kind of has the same type of they kind of got the same type of just habits that Colorado have, as far as I know they just lost their first game, but if you watch them, it's certain habits that they got that can make them lose the game. So I think because of that, they won't lose tomorrow because they just are better than Colorado. But I think that'll possibly keep the game kind of close as well because of just the bad habits that they got too. You know what I mean? Going up against Colorado. So
yeah,
2 scores is kind of pushing it.
Yeah, I think that was kind of a big point spread there.
For that's
2 teams that don't play defense like that. I mean, it's not like and TCU's defense is pretty good, but I think Colorado will still be able to get off on them. I think Colorado, what can change their entire season is what kind of a niche they found last week and a wrinkle they found, and that's putting Jalen Miller at what I think is his natural position, which is running back. Marshall Falk is a Hall of Famer. You just talked about their coaching staff. He's one of the best running backs of all time. He said Jalen Miller can be special in the NFL at running back. He's good. He's a good player out of receiver. But coming out of his natural position last week, they put him back at running back at his natural position. He only had 8 carries, 52 yards and a touchdown. Still was able to catch a touchdown as well out there. We've been watching this dude since high school, so we know what Jalen Miller can do. That can be a small little wrinkle I'd like to see more of for Colorado. But tomorrow's going to be a challenge for them as they take on TCU. That should be a really fun game. Like I said, I take TCU in the win, but on the points, I'll take Colorado in the points on there. Those are some of the big games for tomorrow as well. Also, Iowa State, Cincinnati. I like Iowa State in that game, even though Cincinnati's favored at home. Cincinnati's actually been playing some pretty good football this year. Sorensby, their quarterback, has been playing some pretty good football, but I still take Iowa State in that game, even though they're on the road. Let's take a look at some of these other games from around the weekend for college football. Fun games coming up. Let's look over at the SEC a little bit. Last week, we got some really good games in the Big Ten. Let's take a look at the SEC. First, I got to start with your team, man. Longhorns, they've struggled this year. I know they're number 9, and I know they've only got 1 loss, but they have struggled. I've said that their offense, I mean, it's really the offense. I think Texas has a championship caliber defense. I think that defense is that good. It's one of the best in the SEC. And if your defense is one of the best in the SEC, that means you're one of the best in the country. And their defense is going to keep them in a lot of games. This weekend they got Florida. This is what I'm going to figure out a lot about this Texas team. What are they made of? Are they actually going to be able to do something and contend this week? We know Arch Manning has not played to the level of what everybody thought he was going to be. I don't think he's the worst quarterback in the world, but for where they hyped him to where he was expected to play and how he's played have not matched up whatsoever. This is going to be a test for him against Florida. We know that he did good against the last, Sam Houston State, but UTEP wasn't good film. San Jose State was not good film. I don't even count Ohio State against them because you're playing your first real start against a defending champs at their house. Obviously, it's going to be tough. But this is going to tell me a lot about Arch Manning this week. If you cannot kick a team like Florida while they're down, you got to kick teams while they're down, while everybody's heads are down, and while, man, we just losing, we just can't get right. You got to pile on top of them what they can't get right. You can't let a team like this get a little sliver of hope. The reason I got Texas winning this game tomorrow, on Saturday, they're 4.5-point favorites, even though they're playing in Gainesville. I'll still give the edge to Texas because of their defense, and also because of the really bad play of DJ Lagway, who's also been a lot of underwhelming quarterback play this year. Everyone wants to pile on Arch Manning, but Cade Klubnik hasn't played well. DJ Lagway has played maybe the worst in the league or in the nation. So there's a lot of quarterbacks that came in with a lot of expectation that haven't lived up to that. This is a battle of two quarterbacks doing that, Arch Manning and DJ Lagway. I'll still give the edge to Texas. PJ, what do you think about the Longhorns so far this season and their struggles, and then also this game on Saturday in Gainesville versus Florida?
Yeah, all our struggles, man. Like you said, I still been on this, and I've been telling everybody, Texas has the best defense in college football. I truly believe we do. Definitely after the way we've played Ohio State these last year and then this season, these last 2 seasons, how we played them whenever they had not even arguably, he is the best college football player, like in all of college, with Jeremiah Smith and the way that we were able to play. And even this last game, the first game, we shut down even Cardinal Tate, that he didn't even really do too much. We really lost that game on quarterback play. That's really been our whole thing this year is quarterback play. We got the guys at receiver. The dude Parker Livingston, I've been talking about him since the offseason, even during camp, camp, whenever I was telling you, he's the one that's been making the biggest noise at camp this year. And even when I went down there to watch them, he was out there snagging everything, bro. And he's a big kid, but he's athletic as well, so him, beginning Manuel, I think Mosley, the Stanford transfer, wide receiver from that transfer. Back this week, I believe possibly Trey has been out, but they say he might be coming back this week. Also, Kobe Black, we have him back possibly this week. There's one more person I'm missing, but I know CJ Baxter, he's for sure out this week. But and yeah, it's gonna all come down to really just Arch, man. At first, I feel like in the first game, I feel like some of that was coaching, as far as on Sark's part, but. With just certain plays, I feel like that they probably possibly shouldn't have ran. But nah, man, I can't lie, man. After that, it was really all on Arch. He was just missing guys, not stepping into his passes. You know what I mean? I feel like he was in his head too much. I was very happy about the Sam Houston game just because I finally seen some confidence back in him, and I felt like that's what he needed. And a lot of people was like, oh, you were supposed to do that. You were supposed to do that. And he's celebrating over the Sam Houston guy, but the Sam Houston guy had hit him earlier in their drive and stood over him. And my thing is this. We play football, man. If you don't want me doing anything to you, don't let me score.
No, for real.
Don't let me score. If you don't let me score, then I can't do no celebrations. I can't stand over you after I done trucked you into the end zone. You don't let me score. We all playing football, man. No team is above another team. And the reason why is because on any given Saturday, Friday night, Sunday night, Thursday, it don't matter, like anybody, football. We done seen teams. We just seen it last week. Virginia on Friday. Virginia beating
Florida State.
Florida State, yeah. I think they were 1-10 or something like that with top 10 opponents.
Yeah.
So anybody can get beat on any day. So no team is above the next. So all that, he's above that. He should be above that. I mean, it's Sam Houston. It's Sam Houston. Like, man, come on, bro. And you got guys lame guys like Johnny Manziel who did the exact same thing in 2007. Did the exact same thing. You know what I mean? Just a decade ago. So, dudes having crazy stuff to say, man. But I was happy that the kid showed some confidence because he had not been showing confidence.
No, you said it. Most of the losses, Sark, the play calling, especially San Jose game, I'm like, okay, Sark, what are you doing, man? You know, this San Jose, just beat them. You're trying all this fancy stuff. Last couple of weeks, it ain't been no blaming on Sark. It's Arch. It's Arch. When you throwing the ball in the dirt, I got to put it on you.
Bro, you side arm.
This sidearm stuff. I don't know who's Mahomes. Y'all can't watch Mahomes. It's like Steph Curry. Stop trying to do the stuff that Steph Curry does. Stop trying to do the stuff that Mahomes does. They do that because they're them.
He's not the only kid that's doing it, bro.
Everybody is.
All these quarterbacks been really doing the sidearm stuff, and that I know they don't teach y'all that. I know they don't teach y'all that. They not telling y'all. You better have an awesome arm.
They like it because they see Stafford do it. They see Rodgers do it. They see Mahomes do it. Well, guess what? Those are some of the best arms in the history of the NFL.
NFL of all time. All time, bro.
So yeah, they can make those throws. Yeah, they got to stop. But I'm with you though. I like that the fact that Arch got some confidence back and that he's playing better. This is where it's gonna get tested because I'm telling you now, if he comes out and does that same fugazi kind of stuff against Florida. I'm gonna have to pick Oklahoma to beat them, and not only beat them, but to really beat them, because you're not gonna be able to beat Oklahoma if you go in there half stepping. This isn't Oklahoma that doesn't have a defense or doesn't. This is not one of those Oklahoma teams. They got a defense, and they got a real guy at quarterback with John Mateer. So if he comes out here half stepping, I'm giving him the edge against Florida. But if he comes out half stepping against Florida, I don't have any hope for him in the Red River rivalry, which is crazy to say. That's always supposed to be a toss-up game.
That's the reason why I would say otherwise, though, in that game a little bit, but got material out for a month.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if he came back or if they redid his injury. He's supposed to be getting a second opinion, but if he's out, then no, I don't have him beating anybody.
But at the same time, I get what you're saying though. This defense, like I said, man, they're gonna take us as far as we can go. I can guarantee that
for sure.
And I mean, and they said Hawkins would be playing against OU, and I think that we still do an awesome job. I mean, we played against him last year.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Hawkins at all.
Yeah, but it's the game. It's the games after that, because I feel like Kentucky, when we go to Kentucky, they're gonna give us a good game, and then I also feel like the Mississippi State game is gonna. Those are our next 4 games. It's Florida, Oklahoma, Kentucky, Mississippi State.
Yeah, those are always gonna be. Kentucky, Texas is going to get everybody's best game. They're going to get everybody's best game, so you got to be on your A game when you come in there trying to play against these other schools. And it's the SEC. Ain't nobody going to be easy. Ain't nothing sweet in it. Everybody been stomping on Mississippi State for 20 years. Now look at them. There ain't going to be no easy games in the SEC, especially with money being passed out now. Anybody in the SEC can get good overnight. Look at Vanderbilt, who I'm finna give a chance to actually beat Alabama in the second when we talk about them. But yeah, I mean, with the money that goes out now, ain't nobody in the SEC is slouch. Texas has got to get it together, but I got to move on to a couple of these other games here for tonight. Florida State versus Miami. You just talked about Florida State losing to Virginia last week, which was a great game, by the way. That was a really good game. And I actually took Virginia in the points in that game. I had Florida State winning. But I took Virginia in the points because Virginia's been playing good football. Just people aren't watching them because they're Virginia, and they've been sorry for, 30 years at this point. But they actually got a really good football team. They got a quarterback that I watched a lot of, Chandler Morris, who was at UNT last year, now transferred over to Virginia. So they got a good team. But I still am a believer in this Florida State team. Yeah, they dropped the game, but they're playing at home now. That was a crazy environment they played in last week. We saw them storm the field, which I've been a part of field storms before, but the security got to be better. They didn't even call the play dead before it was 100 people on the field. And then y'all would be mad if I'm a Florida State player and I start stealing off on people. But they're literally, the dude is on the ground. They didn't even say if it's a catch or not. Dude is on the ground fighting for the ball, and he already got 50 fans stomping on him. So I thought that was kind of crazy. But Florida State coming back home. This is going to be a good game. I'm taking Miami. I think Miami's one of the best teams in the country. I think Carson Beck has played well this entire season. I think they have the best offensive line in the country out there in Miami. They've got one of the best defensive lines, if not the best defensive line in the country. This Miami team is solid going both ways. They got a real deal playmaker in the freshman Malachi Tony. I like Miami in this game, but it's going to be a close one. I'll take Miami in the points. Who you like out of Miami and Florida State tomorrow at 6:30?
I got the U all day, man. another school I've always kind of been a low-key fan of. Love to see them do as a kid, definitely. But Florida State is a really good team, though, still. Me watching that game last week, at first, I was looking at it and I was like, ooh, they kind of messing up, you know, it's just certain things. I was like, ooh, man, they're not playing how they was playing these last few weeks or how they played against Alabama. It was just a lot of things that they just weren't on point at first. I thought that they weren't on point at first. I thought it was just all on them. But as I kept continuing to watch the game, that's a really good Virginia team.
Yeah, for sure.
And definitely offensively when it comes to running the ball, which they was killing them. They was killing them, and that's one of the reasons why I'm really picking Miami as well. Outside of just being a low key fan or whatever, but they can run the ball. Mark Fletcher Jr. he's top 5 running back right now so far during the season out there in Miami, and they got a backup really good too. And then that's just gonna open up a lot of them, the passing game up for them. With Malachi Tony, they still got other guys outside of him that can really make plays. So yeah, man, I really think that's what's going to kind of kill them, because if you let Virginia run on you like that, which Virginia, you can say that they probably a top 10 running game right now, they're still pretty good. But this Miami team, man, with that O-line and the way we seen how they just laid onto Notre Dame, man, like as the game continued, you can see they just the more physical team against that Notre Dame squad, which is a good Notre Dame team.
Yeah, definitely.
I got Miami, man, coming out, but Florida State, they can still make this game close. They got playmakers on their side. You seen it came down to 2 overtimes last week against Virginia. You know, and one last play going into the end zone. So they're still pretty good in their own right. They just gonna have to really figure it out as far as how they gonna play this Florida State team. I mean, not Florida State, but Miami offense. And really just, I don't know, man. I don't know what they could possibly do, man. I feel like Malachi Tony gonna have a big day, but before he does, it's really gonna be how they run that ball, man. Mark Fletcher Jr. and all they got like I said, they got another back, and I think it's one after him that be kind of getting touches sometimes. So
that
Miami team, So they're loaded. They're loaded, and I got them getting the dub tomorrow.
Yeah, Miami's one of the best teams in the country. It's not just for this game tomorrow. Tomorrow will let me know if I'm tripping or not, because I think Miami's right there as being a Final Four team left in college football when it's all said and done, potentially even a national champion. You got Carson Beck, who's got plenty of experience. When you can dominate both line of scrimmages like that, Bain on their defensive end is just he's a monster. No one wants to block this guy.
Monster.
Both of their tackles. Yeah. He killed the Florida game. He destroyed the whole game plan. DJ Lagway threw for 60 yards. Like that's unacceptable on his part. But a lot of that is because Bain is in his face every other play. So man, I love their team. Both sides of the ball, they get after it. I really do like Miami. Florida State will be kind of close just because they have a game breaker and Tommy Castellanos at quarterback. And when you got somebody like that, you always have a chance to win. Those are some of the games for tomorrow that I like, folks, on the college football slate. Some really, really good games this weekend. I'm picking Bama versus Vandy. I won't go through the whole game, but I'm picking Bama. I don't see Vandy being able to do it twice, but Vandy's got a good team. It's not a fluke for the people to think it's a fluke. Diego Pavia, he's a dog. When you want somebody to just go and win a game, that's the kind of guy he is. He's just a dog. Now, he is too old, and he's trying to get another year of eligibility. He's got to chill out, but he's a dog out there on the field. What'd you say?
Like 25, right?
Yeah, bro, he old. He's old. And he's trying to get another year.
Nah.
I promise.
You can't be my age playing. Nah, man. You can't be my age playing college football. Getting too old. We ain't old, but we getting too old. You can't be nah.
Yeah, this is already his 5th year. So he's like 23. He's probably like 23, 24 right now. He went JUCO. I believe. Then he went to New Mexico State, and now he's been on Vandy for the last 2 years. This is his 6th year in college.
He's really 18 then. He's with our boy, LaDion, that play in the league now. So, no, you're too old.
Yeah, he's still playing, and he's trying to get another year of eligibility. I get it. He ain't going to the league. He's trying to get another NIL check. So I get it, but nah, bro. They got to stop. But I'm still picking Bama in that game. Let's do a couple of quick takes, folks, before we jump on to some NFL. I'm getting ready to talk about the game tonight. San Francisco 49ers versus the Rams. This is a big-time game, especially within the NFC West. I think probably the two best teams in the NFC West will be battling it out. We'll talk about that in a second. But I got a couple of quick takes. First, we got to talk about this Shedeur Sanders nonsense, man. Okay, so he comes out. They ask him a question. First off, they're asking Shedeur these questions. I don't know why, some people within the media are trying to make it seem like Shedeur is going and finding somebody and talking about this, or even doing a podcast or something going. They're asking him questions. And then his answers are making everybody mad. We knew Dillon Gabriel was going to get named the starter. They asked him originally about, hey, what do you think about playing and all this? And he said, I'm looking at some of the quarterback play in the league. I think I'm better than some of these guys. I think I could be playing. So what is he supposed to say in that scenario? Yeah, I want him to say, man, well, I can't talk about nobody else because I'm the worst quarterback in the league. I'm the third-string quarterback on the Browns. What do y'all expect the dude to say? He's a confident dude that knows what he can do. So he's going to say that. Rex Ryan and a bunch of other people go on there and say he needs to shut up, sit at the front of the meeting room, don't talk back, which nobody has any claims that he's ever sat in the back of the meeting room. Matter of fact, at Colorado, Deion makes all of his players sit at the front in every class. So, of course, people have videos and footage of them in meetings, and where's Shedeur Sanders? In the front row. So, Rex Ryan, please be quiet. I mean, you got to stop. I like Rex Ryan as a coach, but off the field, he'll be so wrong on some stuff and just go so hard on it that it makes me stop liking him. Then he gets on there and starts talking about feet and stuff. You got to chill out. Just worry about feet. Stop worrying about Shedeur. But he comes out now. He doesn't say anything. He gets asked questions. He won't say anything. Now, I do think, Shedeur, he's being funny, but when everybody's got this much eyes on you and this much pressure, sometimes you can't be funny because they're going to take it the wrong way. Now, with Dillon Gabriel being named the starter, the timeline is going just like I said it would. They're going to get sick of Flacco. He's 1,000,001 years old. They're going to get sick of him or he's going to get hurt. Well, they're already sick of him. So they're going to throw Dillon Gabriel in the fire. Give it a few games. They're going to give him a few games, give him a leash because they want him to be good. But they're going to realize, man, this guy's just not that good at football. Maybe he was just 26 playing against 18-year-olds in college, and that's why he looked really good. I don't expect him to be good for long, and Shedeur will get his chance. But all the critics on Shedeur saying this and not saying this, or they mad at him when he don't say something, they mad at him when he say something. Does anybody even know another third-string quarterback on the roster? I don't. I'm a Texans fan. I have no idea who our third string, if we have a third-string quarterback. No idea. Nobody knows the third-string quarterbacks of a bunch of teams. But we talk about Shedeur. They asked him questions to set him up. Do you think you should be starting? How do you feel about Dillon Gabriel starting? They asked him today, how do you feel about being third on the depth chart still? And he said, I don't care about that stuff. That's for y'all to care about. Why? They ask him set up questions to get a response, knowing that all he can do is respond because he can't go out there and show it with his play on the field because he's not playing right now. So they ask him these set up questions. I think the whole Shedeur thing is ridiculous, them trying, once again, to create narratives on him. The dude is a third string. Why is he getting talked about on NFL Countdown when you got to preview all 16 games for the week? Somehow Shedeur comes up in NFL Countdown. That's the stuff I'll be talking about. What do you think about all this Shedeur back and forth that we've seen in the media the last couple of days?
Yeah, it's like what you just said. He's a third-string quarterback. We really shouldn't be talking about a third-string quarterback. We don't talk about no other third-string quarterback on any team.
At any level?
On at any level. I'm talking about from college all the way to high school, middle school. Because you middle school, you probably on the C team.
Yeah.
So, we're not talking about, you don't even talk about the third strings all the way down to middle school. So we shouldn't be talking about him, man. He's third string. I really don't like all this press this negative press that y'all don't even know what y'all talking about. Y'all putting false narratives out on the kid, and he don't even do that. But y'all get on y'all on these shows and y'all be speaking so I'm talking about they speaking like they just know it all. Like they in the locker. You would think they in the locker room the way some of these people was talking. You know what I mean? So we need a public apology because y'all trying to put out false character. Y'all trying to destroy his character. And it ain't even him. You know what I mean? So and it's like you said, the whole timeline is going the way we all was thinking that it'd go. Dillon Gabriel gonna get in there. He's not gonna do any better than Flacco. which the only reason why they even started Flacco is because of his age. Because he has not shown anything in the last like probably 8 years that he was a competent quarterback. So I don't even know. I don't even understand that. But you know, you have nobody else really, so you have to. But yeah, man, this whole thing shouldn't even be talked about. Man, he's a third string quarterback, man. You're gonna talk about him because of his dad is, but because of his last name, you know.
Yeah, it shouldn't. Like you said, the false narratives, it's got to stop, man. We watched it in real time. Rex Ryan, stop worrying about this and go and sit at the front of the meetings. When you say that, you're insinuating that he doesn't do that and that he sits at home and raps. Is that what y'all think he does, Rex Ryan? Like, come on, bro. Some of these guys are a joke. Let's just stop worrying about it. Let's talk about Shedeur whenever Shedeur starts playing football. Why he's not playing football? I don't want to talk about Shedeur because the only thing you can say is something negative. There's no positives to take away because he hasn't played on the field yet. We could be talking about how he's really kept his head down this whole time, how he's really just sitting there working. He said, I'm on the practice squad, so I get game day Monday through Thursday. I get 4 game days every single week. We could talk about him doing that, but instead we talk about all the other things. So, once again, let's just stay off the Shedeur thing. Bad Bunny performing at halftime, man. What's your thoughts? We know we got Usher, we got Kendrick, we had Rihanna, we had, 3 people that kind of look like us in a row for the Super Bowl halftime. Now they're switching up a little bit, going to Bad Bunny for halftime. What you think?
Where's the Super Bowl located?
Man, I don't know. I want to say Miami, but I don't want to say the wrong thing.
If it's in Miami, I understand. If it's back in California, I understand. And if it was in Texas again,
It's
I
in California
understand.
at the 49ers Stadium.
All right, that's cool.
Makes sense.
That's cool. If it wasn't in any place, like any state where there is a strong Latino presence, then I'll be kind of tricking, trying to figure out what makes them do that. But because it's in California,
Yeah, it makes sense.
It makes sense. So that's cool, man. Like you said, we had our turn, so I ain't tripping.
Yeah, people that was mad was like, man, they should have got. First of all, no one's taking any advice from anybody on the internet after y'all said Lil Wayne was supposed to do it last year over Kendrick, and y'all know Lil Wayne can't even hold a sentence right now, and what you want him to go up there and perform in front of the whole NFL, like, stop it. Let's not even do that. So yeah, I didn't have no problem with it, man. Bad Bunny got like the most streams in the last 5 years by far. Like he's killing the game. He got multiple Grammys. He's got a residency going on in Puerto Rico right now. Rocky told me that's driving up the prices. People can't even go visit Puerto Rico like they regularly do because Bad Bunny's down there doing a residency, and all the hotels is booked every night. I'm sure the whole economy in Puerto Rico probably went up. But shout out to Bad Bunny, man. I ain't tripping. I ain't go. As I said on Tuesday, I'm not watching the Super Bowl because of the halftime. I don't care.
No.
I want to actually watch the game of football, the whole thing that we're there to do. So, yeah, I don't care about that. Let's go into a couple of these games tonight. We got a few minutes left here on Centex Primetime. Game tonight, Los Angeles Rams versus the San Francisco 49ers. This game is going to be a big one as far as implications going in the NFC West. Both of these teams 3-1. LA got their first loss last week playing against Philly in a close game. I like the Rams in this one. They're an 8.5-point favorite. I think that's a little much, not only for a division game, but for a Thursday night game. Now, I'm reluctant to take teams by a lot of points on Thursday nights because people coming off these short weeks. And it's not like the travel is going to be a big issue. San Francisco's just taking a flight down to L.A. So it's not like the usual Thursday night games where somebody's flying across the country. They just got to fly downstream in the States. So, I mean, they'll be – I think the Rams will win this game. Obviously, we know Brock Purdy's hurt. It's the 49ers. Everybody's hurt. Either everybody's good and they're winning a bunch of games or everybody's hurt for the 49ers. Right now, everybody's hurt. I'm taking the Rams. Matt Stafford's still playing like one of the best quarterbacks in the league. It's actually ridiculous because he's getting pretty old. And some of the throws he's making, already made throughout the season, could be a highlight reel for the season. And we're only 4 games in. Puka Nacua still doesn't get enough respect as one of the best receivers in the league. He's a better version of what Deebo Samuel was when he was an All-Pro. He's a better version of that, in my opinion. Puka Nacua is a real deal. And then if Devontae Adams is your number 2, your offense is always going to be great. What do you think about the Rams and Niners tonight at 7 o'clock, 7:15?
I think I'm going with the Rams. Like you said, there's some guys right now down for San Francisco. they're gonna play a good game still, but they just got a lot of guys down right now, man. It's a lot of guys in IR and stuff for them. So with this Rams team pretty much being healthy, I mean they're very healthy right now, looking like one of the better teams in the NFC that could possibly come out. You know, if they keep this up, I think they'll end up beating San Francisco. Like I said, it could possibly be a close game. I mean, it's the NFL, so you're not really seeing just blowouts. And San Francisco's still a very respectable team, so they're not just going to allow themselves to just get blown out if they lose.
Yeah.
But I just think that as of right now, yeah, the Rams they're a better team, and they're a more healthy team, so that plays a huge part into that too.
Yeah, health is always going to be a huge part, especially, like you said, when the 49ers are involved in it. I got the Rams in this one, though. I think they'll be able to win the game. Even if they don't cover the spread, I'll take them on the money line for sure. Let's talk about your Dallas Cowboys, PJ. They're 1-2-1. Like I said earlier on the week in the show, I hate ties. I think it's the stupidest thing. If Roger Goodell could do anything, can you please just take away the ties? Find some type of system where they don't have to play for another hour. But it's got to be decided. The tie is like the worst thing in football. They got to take that away. They're 1-2-1 playing the 0-4 Jets team. They're 2.5-point favorites, even though they're playing on the road. I like them in this game. If you have Justin Fields in fantasy or anything, I will start them because this Dallas Cowboys defense is terrible. They've been awful all year long. Their best player is somebody that was an undrafted free agent, James Houston. He might be the best player on the defense at this point. He's the only one putting in any effort. The first-round pick out of Boston College hasn't done anything yet. This now we're going to stop the run narrative. Well, that hasn't worked either. You're going to give up passing yards and you're going to give up yards in the run game. I'll still take the Cowboys in this, and it's really just because of Dak Prescott. I think Dak is the best player in this game. So for that reason is why I'm taking them, even though they're on the road playing against the Jets team that just can't seem to get right. Been in multiple close games. I think the Jets offense will look good. If you got Garrett Wilson, take him on the over. If you got Justin Fields, take him on the over. But I still think the Cowboys will come out and win this game. What do you think about Cowboys and Jets this Sunday?
Yeah, I feel like Justin Fields going to have a really good day. Anybody can have a good day on our offense. Our defense right now. This is the worst defense in the league. It is not close. They are the worst defense in the league. They're awful. They just don't know what to do out there. Like I said, they continue to put Malik Hooker in zone coverage, and he just doesn't know what to do. He just don't know what to do. We need to not play him if we're in zone because he really don't know what to do. He's consistent right now, which is he's terrible right now. The entire defense is terrible. Trayvon Diggs needs to retire. At 26, he's retired. He might be 27 now. Yeah, about to be 27. So yeah, he's just going to retire after this year. He's cooked. The entire defense is cooked. We got Jadavion Clowney, like that was going to do something. He's washed. Yeah, man, we're terrible. But with that being said, though, we still have Dak Prescott right now. He's leading the league in passing yards. Really just efficiency, just everything. He's playing awesome. I love how he's playing. Even how we played against the Packers, I really didn't believe we were supposed to be close in that game last week. Definitely would not have him CD. You know what I mean? But we still was able to really, we tied it up. I hate that. I didn't even know that we still could tie. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible.
They got to kill that, bro. I didn't even know that was. I didn't even know you could do that, man. I was mind boggled when they said that's game. Like, they called us. The final. I'm thinking we finna go into multiple overtimes, you know what I mean? So yeah, they gotta kill it. That's terrible for football. But with all that being said, this Jets team, they like you said, they're gonna play the close games, but they just don't know how to finish. And I think they're gonna continue that going into this week against us, man. They really just don't know how to, just don't know how to close out, man. And I don't really think. I think their offense is good. But I think in a close game right now, I got them losing, man, because I think their offense is going to figure out some way to kind of hurt themselves even after having a good game like they have in a few of these last games, they played, and it just costing them not to win. The defense is, wishy-washy. So I think we get this Sunday.
Yeah, this is a must-win game for the Cowboys. You're 1-2-1. You got to find a way to get a win, and it's right here against New York. You can't lose to a team that just lost to the Dolphins. Y'all know how I feel about the Dolphins. The only reason the Dolphins have a win is because there's a New York Jets somewhere in the world. Because the Dolphins are terrible. They're going to be even worse now that Tyreek Hill's, leg fell off the bone in front of everybody on national television. You got Tua out there. Somebody got to take the mic away from Tua. I know media is you have to do it. You're contractually obligated to do media in the NFL. Can we stop letting Tua talk on the microphone? We just got to stop. I don't know if the CTE is kicking in early. We know he's got it. You can't get hit like that and not have it. We know he's got it. I think it might be kicking in early, or we're starting to see some type of signs and nothing. I'm not wishing nothing bad on the dude. I'm just telling y'all what we're seeing. Each and every week when he talks, it's starting to make less and less sense. This week he was talking about how your body is fluid and you need fluids in your brain, but you also need carbs for your brain. And I'm like, Tua, what are you talking about, bro? Are y'all gonna win a game? Are y'all gonna win this week? That's what you should be talking about. You're playing the other worst team in the league. You're playing the Panthers this week. Can you beat the Panthers? Can you stop giving us dietary information? I don't know what's going on with Tua, but please stop doing interviews with him. The Dolphins are terrible. Dolphins beat the Jets, so that means the Jets are terrible. That means the Cowboys are going to win on Sunday. The Philadelphia Eagles are undefeated. They're playing the Denver Broncos. This is probably going to be the best game on Sunday, in my estimation. There's two really good teams. Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos have struggled this season. They let some games slip away. They lost the game to the Colts they were supposed to win. They lost the game to the Chargers very late. But they come out and dominate the Bengals like they were supposed to do. Come out and dominate the Bengals, making me think this is going to be a close game. I'm not picking against the Eagles. Eagles haven't lost a game outside of when they started Kenny Pickett some last year. They haven't lost a game with Jalen Hurts as the quarterback since September of last year. It's October. It means they won a full calendar year of winning. I'm not picking against them now. And Philly's at home. I got to take Philly in this game. I know there's a lot of talks about Jalen Hurts. He's only throwing for 100 yards in the game. We in a group message with probably the biggest Jalen Hurts hater in the world, which is Kyrell. But every week, everyone's saying, man, Jalen Hurts can't do this. You know what he is doing? He's finding a way to win the football game. It doesn't matter. Everybody wants to talk about Jalen Hurts' stats and the lack thereof. Talk about what does he do in fourth quarters when they need him to make a play. When is the last time we've seen him in the fourth quarters when they need Jalen Hurts to make a play and he didn't do it? It's been at least a year. I haven't seen him do it in a year. So we got to give him credit for that, man. I'm not taking nothing away from Jalen Hurts. Yeah, his stats are bad. Who cares? Are they winning football games? That's his job as the quarterback. Is A.J. Brown going to like that? No. See him posting Bible verses. Last year he was reading a book. I don't know what he's going to do this week when he doesn't get the ball. But guess what, A.J.? You're not going to get the ball again because you got Pat Surtain guarding you. So he's not throwing over there. I still like the Eagles in this game. Who you like out of Philly and the Broncos? I think we might have lost audio. I'll move to the next game here as we got Houston and Baltimore. We only got a couple minutes left here on Centex Primetime. Houston and Baltimore is a game this weekend. Houston's got to win this. Talked about the Cowboys and stuff. I can't do that without talking about my team. This is a game Houston's got to win. Offensive line is actually, I was saying we got one of the worst offensive lines in the league, and I was wrong about that. The Texans have one of the worst offensive lines I've ever seen in my life. They're doing stuff. They're giving up plays that don't make any sense. When Jeffrey Simmons is hitting C.J. Stroud, the second he says, Hut, we've got some issues going on. Yeah, the line is bad, but Lamar's not playing this week. You got to win. The defense is still one of the best defenses in the league. I still believe that. You got to go out there and win. You cannot let Cooper Rush get a win on you. Now, it ain't going to be easy. You're playing Baltimore at home, and they still got all those other guys. Derrick Henry hasn't been getting the ball that much. They're going to change that. Now that Cooper Rush is the quarterback, Derrick Henry about to get 25 to 30 carries. So you got to be ready for that. I still like the Texans in that game, though. Texans are favored by 2.5. I'll take them on that 2.5 points, and I'll also take them on the money line. Either way you slice it, I got the Texans. I like the Giants getting another win versus the New Orleans Saints. Jackson Dart in his second start, I think he'll get a win this weekend in New Orleans, playing against the Saints, who haven't seemed to be able to do anything right. Daniel Jones will improve their record again. They'll beat the Raiders this weekend. Miami and Carolina, that's a game that no one should even pick. I'll pick Miami very slightly. I'll take Miami, even though they're without Tyreek Hill. I'll still take them in this game. Tampa Bay and Seattle is going to be a really good game. They're playing in Seattle for this game. Baker Mayfield is questionable. He's really been battling injuries. If he was 100% healthy, I would take the Bucs, but I'm going to take Seattle in this game. I think Seattle's been playing decent football. I think their defense has been playing some pretty decent football as well, and they're at home. So for that reason, I'll go ahead and take them in that game. Chargers versus the Commanders. This will be a fun game to watch. I'm not sure if Jaden Daniels is going to be playing or not in this game. If he is playing, I think it'll be closer. Either way you slice it, I'm taking the Chargers. They're playing at home. They're trying to rebound off of a loss last week against the Giants team that they did not expect to lose against. I don't see Jim Harbaugh coach team losing 2 games in a row. So for that reason, I'll take the Chargers in this game. The Sunday night game, Buffalo in New England. New England is better than what people think. I talked about them before the season started. I think they're actually a pretty good team. I think they're actually a pretty good team. I like what they've been able to do so far. They're not ready yet to be a playoff team, but I still think this is going to be a pretty good game, even though it's on Sunday Night Football. Bills are 7.5-point favorite. Y'all know who I am about 7.5-point spreads in the league, man. It's the league. You never know. I know the Bills could beat them by a touchdown, but I can't pick a team by a touchdown because we've seen crazier things happen in the NFL. For that reason, I'll take the Bills on the money line. Give me Detroit over Cincinnati. Detroit is a 10.5-point favorite, and take Detroit into 10 points. I just told you about I don't take the spreads like that. The way Cincinnati looked last week against Denver, I'm taking Detroit into points on that game. The Monday night game, Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville's a 3-1. Talked about the Houston Cougars in college football and how they're kind of fugazi, but But I will still take Kansas City in this game because I think Jacksonville's 3-1 is kind of like the Houston Cougars. I don't see them really being a formidable team as they get into the playoffs, nor in the division. I still like the Texans in the division. I know that's not a surprise to y'all because I'm a Texans fan. But give me Kansas City in this game. They're favored by 3.5 points. I'll take them on the 3.5 points. Even though they're playing on the road, I still like Kansas City in this game. Folks, we're out of time here today. We're out of time here today on Centex Primetime. I want to thank everybody for watching with us, not only today, but all week long. We know we got some more Friday Night Flex coming up tomorrow, 6 to 10 p.m. We'll be covering everything in Central Texas football tomorrow, starting at 6, going all the way to 10. Wayne Walker, Rocky Miller, they'll be up here with me as we get ready to go through some of these games. We'll have another food segment on there for those of y'all that like watching the food segments that we do. So make sure you tune in for that tomorrow, 6 to 10 p.m. Saturday at 1 o'clock, we've got more MCC volleyball. So make sure you guys getting ready for that as well. MCC, as I said, just coming off a 3-0 sweep against Southwestern Christian College. They'll be back in action at 1 o'clock on Saturday for some more conference play. Thanks to everybody that's watching. Make sure you guys go to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, like and share the stream. Also let everybody know about Friday Night Flex tomorrow and volleyball this weekend. If you haven't already, check out our website, CentexSportsNetwork.com. That is CentexSportsNetwork.com. So make sure you guys go in there and check us out. Free subscription. Just need your name and your email to get signed up. We will see you guys then. Everybody have